My name is Margaret Hollar, and I'm very proud to be a member of this beautiful little church. I grew up 4 houses down from the church, and my grandparents helped start the church. So that's how I ended up here and spent most of my life coming to this church. Well, the first meeting for the church started in 1906 in a little house down the street, which is on Linway Terrace, right across from the park. It was the schoolhouse that was first around here. And then they grew. At that time, there were a lot of children in the neighborhood. We had a lot of children here. So after about 15 years, they got larger, and they wanted to have a church and a place where the children could learn God's Word and Christianity. So they bought this half-acre of land here for $250 to build the church on. And the first church service was in here in the cornerstone was laid in 1920, and the church service, first one was in 1921. We had such wonderful people in the community. It was a very close-knit community. It was like growing up in a little village. Everybody knew everybody, and it was so much fun to come here to this church. We had teachers that taught forever. We had a couple that taught for 20 years. They loved spreading the word, so they were also good. We had a large number of people in the church. We had a lot of youth. At one time we had 3 choirs in this church. Yeah, it was amazing how we grew. And then we grew so that we outgrew the church. We had meetings and classes in every spot there was to have in this church. So in the 1950s, decided that we would have to build an additional building. So it was like in 1950, about around 1957, they bought another 3.5 acres, and that's where we built the building where the school is now, but it was a lot smaller. It was an educational building, and that was completed in 1959. So there we had room for everybody. Everybody that every age had a classroom. We had a lot of vacation Bible schools. We had a lot of dinners in the church. They did a lot on missions. They had a huge women's society. When I was a teenager, we had a very large MYF, Methodist Youth Fellowship. I'm not sure if they still have it today. And we met every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. We would come to church. We'd have Bible study. Sometimes we would go roller skating. Sometimes we would meet with another church. It was just so much fun. And we did a lot of mission work, as I said. We had a lot of dinners here, which were very well known in the community. We had a lot of activities. We had huge pumpkin hunts. And we had picnics all the time out on the yard. It was just wonderful. There was so much to do. But you have to remember, when I was growing up, there were not all the malls that were around here. The stores weren't open on Sunday, and they didn't have sports on Sundays. So the church was really the center of the life here. The holidays were beautiful. Christmas was something that I will never forget. We had Christmas pageants. We decorated a tree, but at that time we didn't have a real tree. So one of the members would go up to Pennsylvania and cut a tree and bring back a live tree for us. And then we would all decorate it. We had Christmas plays, we had Christmas dinners. The church was just beautiful when you walked in. It was all decorated. Wonderful memories of church. And then the Christmas carols we all sang. We always had a midnight, which was my favorite, was the midnight Christmas, which I really miss not having anymore. But as people got older and all, they didn't want to come out later, so we had to cut back the time. But I can remember one Christmas Eve, we had the service at midnight, and we walked out and it was snowing. It was so beautiful. Yeah. Well, as time went on, as I say, we had nearly 500 membership in the 60s. And we were a very active church. We did a lot for the community. We did a lot of missions. And a lot of people in the community, no matter what we had, they all came. We all knew everybody. As people got older, that passed away, people that just moved away to somewhere else. As a lot of these children that grew up in the neighborhood got older and went off to college, some of them didn't come back, they lived somewhere else, and then some of them just moved further out from this area. So it just got to after a point that we went down in membership, and we could not carry on any longer. But we all knew that God was with us. We would say, yeah, we're here in church and God's here. So he would tell us what we should do. And we certainly did not want to close the church. So we all got together and we said, okay, we will just have to merge with the church or go. We have to accept it. We wanted to hang on to it ourselves, but we couldn't do it. So when we heard about the Vision of Peace and we talked about it, we said, this is what we want to come to our church. So we were very lucky they decided to do it and came to our church. And with them, they brought young people, and very young babies, very young people, and we're all very happy. And we're so lucky to have them here because now we can go on and make history for another 110 years. I hope to see the church grow. And it seems to me that it is growing. The services are beautiful, and the music, which I myself had to get used to because we never had that. It's more of the contemporary. So I think it will grow. I think we will grow in missions, and I think we will grow in our sanctuary and our services. So I'm hoping that we can get more into the community and really get involved. I know that takes time, but I'm sure that in time we will really grow and we will expand a lot more. Who knows, we may have to add on. That would be great, right? Yeah. Well, oh gosh, it's been so long ago. That's a great question. It was wonderful to get baptism. We had, just the little thing of water, and it was on my head. I was very young when I had it done. So I thought, no, I'm really a member of this church. It was a wonderful experience here. It's not where they really, wet you. That's what I always thought. Oh my gosh, I'm going to really get wet, but I didn't. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful memory.
Recording? Oh, oops.